Hey guys, and today we're going to be discussing this week's chapter of Promised Neverland, chapter 33. And my god, was it a doozy, and I mean a doozy. Okay, so Ray's plan, or pretty much Norman's plan of, Emma's plan of escaping plan, literally was great chapter. All in all, it was a great chapter, let me just say it brief. And their plan is literally going to succeed. Last chapter, it ended with Ray about to set himself on light after dousing himself in gasoline. And Emma didn't want that, didn't want him to do that. And how the chapter ended last chapter, it looked like Ray actually did it. Ray actually set himself alight and the fire started to spread. This chapter, on the other hand, explains it in a little bit more detail. We had two more characters called Thorma and Lani that, by the looks, they knew about the plan and knew how to act like kids, like, you know, younger children, and how to interpretate it with the other younger children, how to tell them of what's actually happening and everything like that, and tell them the truth in some way of theirs, so they could escape and everything. During the whole escape plan, Mama noticed the fire had started to spread in there, and she really did think that Ray is on fire. Ray is on fire, and she's trying to save the brain and everything, but Ray ain't there. During this, we literally get her finding out, telling Emma to go out and make sure everybody was safe. But Emma was already gone, and she just realised that this was their plan. She just realised that this was their plan all along to escape, and she couldn't realise it. She was planning to do an overnighter. Isabella was planning to do an overnighter, and it literally did fall through. That during her overnighter, making sure everything goes according to her plan, she didn't see this coming. She didn't see the whole house going on fire, or Ray dousing himself on fire, and everything for this plan to work. Gilda and Don made sure they got everybody out of the house, including the little ones and everything, and they're now running out of the building and trying to get up onto the plantation and up and away to get to that bridge, because as of now, everything is shut off, because Mama was wondering why the sprinklers ain't working. Did Ray deactivate? Most likely they made sure that the sprinklers were disarmed and not going to work when this plan happens, because if the sprinklers did work at this point in time, the plan would have failed anyway. But because Ray or Emma disarmed the sprinklers, they didn't go off. Isabel then found a weird, ear, looked like a fake ear or an old ear or something, or an old ear that probably covered up the original ear, because they already taken out all the trackers out of everybody at this point in time. All the trackers are now off, and these ears that they found on the floor, that Isabella found on the floor, most likely contained the trackers, and they're now off. All the kids' ears are either are gone, or the trackers are on these fake ears, and it's just to keep Mama busy and everything. She has literally failed in becoming a mama. She's going to be killed herself now because of the fact that she failed. Ray was meant to be her most prized child to give into this tri-fair, and she can't do that because she presumed that Ray's actually now burning to a crisp. But we find out that Emma stopped that, catch the match and everything, so Ray didn't, and then they made sure they escaped, and made sure Ray escaped, and while he escaped, Emma stayed on just to act as a decoy, and act like Ray did get burned alive, and that's pretty much how the chapter. And now everybody is now escaping away, and we have to thank Norman before he left, that he knew Ray was going to do something like this, and everything. Now, this chapter, I will say, is a great chapter, very build-up, because we've got some flashbacks within this chapter as well, and it just shows that this plan they could be probably going to be finally escaping. But at the same time, they are not thinking of what's going to happen to Mom. But at the same time, I don't think they care now at the moment that Mama's going to lose her job. More than that, she's going to end up like Sister Corone, where she's going to be dead. She's going to die, and she's probably going to be produced into meat for these demons now because of what happened. And now that there's children, escapees, out there going to be escaping the plantation once they get to the bridge, hopefully, because they're also going to be using these cocktail bombs and throwing them on fire and throwing them into each plantation, so fire is spread equally between them. So the fire team can't just come to them to plantation 3 because they have to be divided. So there's not going to be a lot of saving grace for this house, and by the time that happens, they're all going to end up away and escape and across that bridge and pretty much be free and be on their horizons. So is this the end of the escape plan arc? No. They got some more trials and tribulations left in this escape plan arc. Now, is it to me nearing the end? I have a strong feeling it is nearing the end of this arc. Will we go into a mini time skip after this arc? Because this type of manga series, you could probably have a few chapters or another arc as them as kids, and them starting to learn new skills and everything like that. But I also think introducing a little mini time skip where they are older and they're like 15, 16 now, and we get flashbacks of when they were younger and them using those skills they've learned while they were younger, around 12 and 13 then from that on point, would be great to be used in this story as well. It just seems a bit... I just want to see if there's going to be some form of time skip after this escape plan, really, because you can't just have them finally escape and then be all dandy and fine afterwards, because there's no way for that in this case. In all fairness, I just want to see where the story is now heading, because this fire plan was genius, and it just shows that everything in this plan just is coming together very nicely, and I am really looking forward to it. Now, what do I say about this chapter overall? Very great chapter. There might be some hiccups here and there. The art was on point. The different art styles within this chapter that the mangaka used, the artists of this manga used, because this is a joint team of a writer and a manga artist. It really was nice seeing all the different elements and the different techniques that he's been using in this manga. Definitely was really nice as well. And I really have enjoyed The Promised Neverlands to a T, and it is getting into this point where this is my channel's manga series where I'm not going to stop reviewing this series. This is dedication for this series because I have loved this series from chapter 1. I did a live reaction and first thoughts video on chapter 1 and done reviews ever since then, weekly, as every time it came out. This was the manga that replaced Bleach for me. I'll do another video later on. I know I promised some other videos last week, but time constraints and issues are. But tomorrow, if I get the time, I will be going into more depth of which mangas I replaced in my weekly readings, and I will talk about that later on tomorrow in that just to discuss, because I literally want to do a video like that. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's review of The Promised Neverlands, chapter 33. You can leave your comments and your thoughts about the art, the problems about it. If I could tell there might be some problems, but you can comment down below what you could pick up, because there might have been some, but I couldn't really pick out because I love this series. Down in the comment sections below, Caillou, Shira, and Pazuka Denzu have yet again bring a fantastic chapter within this in this week's chapter of Promised Neverland. And Pazuka Sensei's art was on point. Yet again, there might have been some hiccups there with his art style, but it was on point because I love his direction with the series, with those different art techniques that he's been throwing in. And Caillou Sensei is being great as well. The story is on point, and I'm glad these two are together to write in this series, and it's been going on for 33 chapters now because it has been very, very strong. And yeah, I've been your host, Kai from Kai's Otaku Corner, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. See ya. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed this week's review of Chapter 33 of The Promised Neverland, titled Execution Part 2. But other than that, you can check out last week's Promised Neverland review somewhere on the screen. You can subscribe to me, make sure you hit that bell icon as well so you can keep up to date and notified whenever the next chapter video review comes up, or video in general. You can check out the Promised Neverland's playlist on the screen as well, and you can check out my last review that was last week's One Piece. I know there was no Shokugeki no Soma last week, but there's sometimes I can't really review Shokugeki no Soma every week, but I will be returning this week with Shokugeki no Soma. But like always, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links to those are down in the video descriptions down below, and you can also check me out whenever you want as well. If you're a member of the 00 Club or the Universe, you can find those on Facebook as well, and keep chatting and follow my videos there as well. But anyway, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed this video, as of course you can like it. And always leave a comment down below as well what you liked and didn't like about this chapter. And I'll see you next time. I've been your host, Kai from Kai's Otaku Corner. I'm signing out. See ya!